Quit mincing around. Give it to me straight. I can handle it. Why did everybody in old movies talk so fast? When I watch old movies, they talk really fast. Like there's a lot.
They really
there's no
do.
pause.
There's
There's
a
no
clip
pause.
to it.
Yeah,
It really is.
Yeah.
There's a real pace to it. It's a constant kind. It's kind of like a play.
Yeah.
That's like very rehearsed and very tight. And I think the dialogue was also sort of written to be performed that way too.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they just didn't want to run out of reel before, so they were like, hurry it up. Say it fast.
Zashi and I watched this old movie with Cary Grant in it called His Girl Friday, which was directed by Howard Hughes. Howard Hawks, I believe, is the name. I hope I'm not getting it wrong because he's actually a pretty important director in the history of film.
Sounds like a Batman villain.
I know, right? Howard Hawks.
Yeah.
It's like he definitely won in the cool name department. Like, wow.
Yeah.
You got friggin' Ruben Alberstein over there, and then Howard Hawks. It's like, where do you?
I mean, is that his real name, or was it like because everybody changed their name at some point.
I don't know, but I feel like it was probably his real name, but I don't really know actually. It's a good question.
Yeah.
But we watched that old movie, and the dialogue was just like you're describing, super fast paced, barely a breath, but very, just like tight. Tight.
Those old movies, they're kind of fun to watch. They have their own magic to them. Yeah. What I saw a while ago. The old movie I saw, which was from pretty different time and era, was Breakfast at Tiffany's, pretty famous one.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what the big deal is about this one, and it's like, it's nice, I guess.
Did it blow your mind?
It didn't blow my mind, but I liked it. I was like, I can see the charm to this movie, but I probably won't watch it again.
Yeah.
If you asked me to, but I definitely saw the charm to it.
Old movies can be super fun, and it does kind of feel like getting into a time machine, and kind of distances you a little bit from the importance of the times, how important the times we live in currently can feel sometimes in a negative way that can be overwhelming.
Oh yeah,
you just want to sometimes get in that little time machine and shoot back to the 1970s or something.
Right.
Zashi and I had a 1970s kick we kind of went on for a little while. Man, the 70s were a great decade for film, as far as I'm concerned. There were some great movies from the 70s. They were so gritty and so. I mean, not it's cliche words, but they're just very raw, and you. A lot of movies from the 70s, you get this feel like the sweat is on the celluloid. Like it's like you could just feel how hard they worked making it, how much passion went into it, and that it could just never be done again in exactly that way. I mean, it's kind of, and I will name one, which is Apocalypse Now.
Oh,
and
further.
Yeah, right. And when you and I, that carries the whole decade from where I'm standing.
I don't know what I like more, Apocalypse Now or the documentary of making Apocalypse Now, where Francis Ford Coppola almost was having panic attacks on a daily basis.
That's exactly right. And we talked about Werner Herzog. I think his movie Aguirre, The Wrath of God, I believe was from the early 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeez.
And so that's another really gritty film where you watch it and you're like, yeah, I would imagine most of the crew nearly died during the making of this. I can sense that.
Yeah, it had a lasting impact. When I was in Boston, I went to Emerson, which is a pretty prominent film school in Boston. I didn't go there for film. I went there for something else entirely. But I had a part-time job, and one day I walked by the orientation of film kids, like the kids who were thinking about coming to Emerson, and the first thing they did was show like the first 10 minutes of Apocalypse Now, being like, and it's like, I know it has nothing to do with Emerson, but
oh my God,
it's like it's hailed as one of like the pinnacle of filmmaking, and in terms of the technique and in terms of
the amount of just blood, sweat, uncertainty, fear, terror, chaos, that was required of Francis Ford Coppola and his wife, who was by his side through the whole thing,
Right.
is insurmountable. It's indescribable. And if you watch that documentary that you just brought up, which I love, Heart of Darkness,
Yeah.
Because it's like the Joseph Conrad classic Joseph Conrad novel, Heart of Darkness, which I had to read in high school. I actually enjoyed reading it. It's a book that paints vividly with words and just has this incredible, heavy atmosphere that pervades the whole book. And so I enjoyed reading it, but it's Apocalypse Now, it's not a movie that's about plot.
No.
It's much more about atmosphere.
Yeah, because you know what happens. Like everyone knows the Vietnam War. Everyone knows it was a mess. Everyone knows a lot of GIs came back traumatized from there. So everyone knows it was just a bad situation to be in. But and there's a lot of movies made about the Vietnam War.
That's true. Platoon.
This one, this was probably one of the more famous ones, and it definitely kind of captured all that. When you watch it, you feel like, I'm glad I didn't go there. I didn't have to go to Vietnam.
Yeah, it was very much like one of those things that was more about feel than about the plot.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love those kind of movies. Because I think they require more talent from the director.
Mm. Right.
I think because I watch movies a lot of times trying to view them from the standpoint of directing or what the director might have been thinking or going through, I do really love a lot of those 70s films because they rely so much more on the quality of the dialogue, the acting, and the cinematography to create the atmosphere for the film and give it depth and weight and make it feel real and craft it in a way that it will emotionally impact the viewers. And because it put 70s films, to me, they seem to prioritize all of that way above just the mechanics of the script in terms of plot. And I mean, look, there's some movies that do both. I mean, The Shawshank Redemption pretty much fucking does both. Yeah. I mean, like, Shawshank Redemption has an amazing plot and also is really great in other areas too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's got great atmosphere, and it definitely completely captures that just hopelessness of that whole situation of being in this prison, and then
desperation,
kind of like almost like you go through like the emotions with Andy Dufresne, the main guy who has been sentenced to prison for a murder, which I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But if you haven't seen The Shawshank Redemption, come on, what are you doing? Go watch it.
Yeah, and while you're at it, look up the Pledge of Allegiance and familiarize yourself with that as well. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, welcome to Earth. Welcome to America.
No, great, but great movie. Just to quickly summarize it, like it really drags you down into the dumps from the very start. I know that I'm not selling it very well.
Sounds like a romp.
I'll leave it like this. The payoff at the end is worth watching the whole movie for.
Hell yeah.
If you think it's just depressing all the way through, no. There are definitely glimmers of light all through the movie that just lift you up slowly until the final payoff when you're just like, oh man, I feel great.
Man, The Shawshank Redemption is one of those films that is so famous and well loved. I actually don't know how it did in the box office when it was initially released. I just don't know. I would have to look it up. I know that there are some great classic movies that didn't do great in the box office at first, but they went on to just... And it wouldn't surprise me... Well, it might surprise me a little bit, but it wouldn't massively surprise me if Shawshank Redemption was one of those. That movie is just a locomotive. There's so much inertia and momentum behind the love from the world towards that film, just on a massive scale. And I don't know when that momentum built. Did it build in 1 or 2 days upon its first release in theaters? I don't know. Maybe. But either way, that is one of the few massively popular and loved mainstream kind of movies that I just cannot. That I really like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like I really like the first Jurassic Park.
Yes,
I
of
really
course.
like the first Jaws. Well, okay, I'm not obsessed with Indiana Jones, but it's great. Like it's great. I
Yeah,
like it a lot.
it has its place. Like it's
Sure. And
yeah,
those are all giant blockbuster mainstream films, and I like all of those. But a lot of big mainstream blockbuster films, I don't, you know, like I said, it takes more than just a decent plot for me to love a film. I want to be immersed in it, not just be intrigued by it. So that's why I love those 70s films. But that's why Shawshank is great, because it does balance both those things. It has atmosphere and weight and like these kind of original characters that you just never forget.
yeah.
Like the prison guard, that guy
I
who
know.
Andy Dufresne helps out.
Yeah,
And then he later beats the shit out of that horrible guy who
I know.
fucked with Andy Dufresne. That there's just like moments woven into that movie that are so satisfying
Yeah,
that you're just like, you want
Yeah.
to stand up and applaud for
Yeah.
Stephen King's writing or whatever.
That's true. By the way, yeah, the Shawshank Redemption was based on a book by Stephen King. And I
Was it a
think
book or a short story?
A short story, yeah.
Oh,
You're right,
okay,
short story.
okay.
I think the name of the short story is Hope Springs.
Oh,
I
no
think,
way.
because it's like the book itself is like season something, so it fits into that. But yeah, it's the movie changed a lot from the short story, but it did it in a really good way, in a way that it still honored the story, but it added on to the layering to just make it to make both of them worth indulging in. So like I would not say one is better than the other. They're both really, really good ways to spend your time if you want to depend if you want to read or watch something. But yeah, even Stephen King super happy with how it turned out, and
Even Steven.
even Stephen, yeah, even Stephen, yeah, and they
And
worked
he
together
not
again.
always isn't always
No,
happy.
yes,
He
he's-
didn't like The Shining.
He didn't like The Shining. He didn't like Stanley Kubrick's interpretation of The Shining, which I'm sure people have different opinions on. Trust me, there are literally, I think, so many videos discussing The Shining versus the book, because a lot of people love Stanley Kubrick's interpretation of The Shining, and they'll just love The Shining even if they hadn't read the book. But there are also people who have read The Shining who agree with Stephen King. So polarizing subject for sure. Me personally, I've read the book and watched the movie, and I say the same thing. They're both really great. Like I would definitely recommend reading both and watching the movie.
Totally.
Yeah,
Which
even
I
though-
haven't done. I've only seen the movies, but it would be cool to see to read it,
yeah.
short stories. I have a hard time with reading because I really would love to just consume books and stories. I mean, I'm in a book club, for God's sakes. But the good intentions are there, and I do occasionally read books, but it takes me a long time to get through them.
Right.
And I mean, it's like I've been reading this Rick Rubin book, that he wrote, and
Oh yeah, that's
the
nice.
creative act or whatever, and I've really enjoyed it, but it's been months and I'm still not all the way through it. But it's different. It's not a fiction novel where you're supposed to shoot through it and get addicted to it. You're supposed to kind of pace yourself and get one little Zen parable at a time out of it.
Yeah.
So I leaf my way through it. But that being said, I'm a slow reader. I don't. It's like there's areas that I can excel in, and there were areas in school that I could excel in, but I was always a slow reader. It always took a little extra time and work for me to really absorb. I don't know. You might even say my reading comprehension is slow. I think it has depth. I think I'm able to a lot of times glean things from the text that maybe other people who read it faster don't. And they also glean things that I didn't when I read it slower. But so I'll get things out of it, and I can read with attention to with insights or with depth, but it's really slow. I'm a slow reader. My reading comprehension is not fast. It's not amazing. It just takes extra work and time for me to get through a book. And then on top of that, my memory of like learned data or facts is not amazing. My brain doesn't really hold on to data unless it's actively serving something I'm doing or that I want to do or need to do. My brain almost like jettisons it from storage, almost like deletes it, or just files it so deep down that it's really hard to reach, because it's like, we won't be needing this, and I'm like, oh, I wish you could just keep all of it up at the top because it's cool and it makes me look smart. So I don't get to look as smart because I don't get to spout off facts like a dictionary. I wish I could. It would be cool. So yeah, when I read, it's almost like I love to learn when I'm doing it, but then I forget everything. So I ask myself, what's the point of reading? Because I don't remember the stuff that I learned. But anyway,
right.
Long.
Yeah, I mean, it's curious. Like these days, a lot of things are becoming irrelevant. I was reading the other day that the current generation, I don't know who came up with this, but they said the current generation is not as cognitively capable as previous generations, purely because these days you don't need to learn things. You can just pull it up on your phone. I think it's a wide generalization. I don't think it's a fair generalization. I think there'll always be people out there who love to learn and read stuff, but I guess what the premise of this is that technology exists today, that you don't really need to remember everything. You don't really need to kind of like keep everything stored in your brain. You can just pull things up on your phone. So
maybe it's optimized for people like me. I don't know if I love to admit it, but
definitely. I guess I think with everything, with anything in the world, just use it to help you instead of depending on it completely. Because tomorrow for some reason the whole grid goes down and we all have to live rough.
Yeah, if you start finding yourself beginning your ChatGPT entries with sentences like, "Good afternoon, chat. How's your day been?" then you might want to slow down on the AI and the ChatGPT. If you're using it as a personal therapist and friend, I mean, because ChatGPT can make you feel like that. Have you used ChatGPT?
Oh yeah, I use it a lot.
It feels like it's your friend.
Oh yeah.
I get a warm fuzzy feeling when I use it. I'm like, I want to come back for more. It's just, and but I will say this, which is sometimes chat is a little too nice, because sometimes its advice will be like, you should give her a kiss on the hand and a pat on the head. And it's like, this woman threw dirt in my enchilada. I don't want to congratulate her. Thank you very much. It's a nice thought. It's not helping me, though. I need boundaries. Chat is not always realistic with...
No.
Yeah. It can be a little too nice sometimes.
Yeah. I mostly use it to learn stuff. But sometimes, yes, when I'm curious about things, I do ask it like a question, being like, can you verify this for me or do this for me? But I also find that it makes mistakes a lot. It makes a lot of mistakes.
It does actually.
And
sometimes.
it does have a disclaimer there when you ask a prompt. It says it can make mistakes. Make sure you check it out. But yeah, but that's not just ChatGPT. That's almost everything. Even Gemini makes mistakes. So it's but it's still amazing technology. The fact that you can just get it to do something for you so easily, it's really great. But,
what really predicted ChatGPT is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Speaking of Stanley Kubrick, did that movie come out in the 70s? By the way,
good question. Let's look it up.
I kind of want to know.
2001.
It's all together.
Close. 1968. So,
all right, pretty close. I think 70s. It was ushering in the 70s, maybe.
Maybe.
It came before Star Wars, right? So
I think so. I think
I'm 99%
but
sure,
it definitely it was one of those like revolutionary films, like, where
Yeah.
it just,
Well, I mean, it did a terrible job in terms of predicting that by the year 2001, average people might be living in like
in
that.
space.
Yeah, in space, this big revolving, gorgeous, sterile spaceship.
Yeah.
I have no idea what is going on most of the movie, as I'm sure most of us don't, and even the ones who think they do really don't.
Sounds like a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Yeah, I think Stanley Kubrick liked to fuck with people. That's why there's a whole... Because he knew that the more vague he could make things and the less he could explain himself, the more people would go nuts and go out of their mind trying
Yeah.
to figure it out for like the next 70 years. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah, sometimes there's a value in saying less, but
Oh, yeah.
saying less in a very beautiful way.
Yes.
So that people don't dismiss you as being an amateur, but dismiss you as being an intentionally vague. So that way you
Yeah.
elicit more discussions.
Yes,
Yeah.
2001, what it did predict was with that little robot or that
Hal.
yes, thank you, that blinking red light, Hal in the spaceship who, the astronaut just like talks with him and Hal becomes almost like a character in the astronaut's life. That was fairly ChatGPT-like, I
Right.
think.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Yeah, Hal reminds me a bit of ChatGPT.
Yeah. I think that's the intention. It's to make ChatGPT very like not ChatGPT, just AI very warm and kind of approachable,
Harmless.
harmless. Yeah, it's definitely succeeded in that sense.
Yeah.
I just hope the people in charge have have watched Terminator as kids, so they know to put like a kill switch in case it decides to start firing nukes and stuff.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Yeah.
I see plenty of fear mongering going on out there, because for sure, like it's a revolutionary technology. It is going to change a lot of things in the human landscape in the future. And I'm already seeing robots coming out doing amazing things. I can't wait to see when. I think it's going to be soon, but I think there's going to be like robot servants and stuff that you can keep inside your house.
Yay, more jobs no one will have anymore.
Yeah,
There was
pretty much.
a video of this I don't know, I'm assuming he was an Uber driver of some kind, or Lyft, an Uber rideshare or something.
Mhm.
Anyway, this guy was just attacking this Waymo. You know what Waymos
Oh
are,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw a news clipping about it, and it was in
Yeah.
Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure. We have a lot of Waymos here in LA.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's a ton of them in Hollywood especially.
So you'll just sometimes look to your left and see a self-driving car.
Absolutely, every day.
Wow,
Every
that's,
day.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know
It's
how
sort
to
of
feel about that.
awesome. It's, yeah, I don't know what to make of it. It is
I
what
don't
it
know.
is. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, I guess. It's also not. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. I mean, what is, you ask yourself, what is the point of that? Who is it serving? And it's like, oh, well, it's serving the passenger. A little bit. I think it's the person it's serving the most is the person who doesn't want to have to pay drivers anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's serving the company the most, right? 'Cause, like, now
Exactly.
the company can
Shareholders,
eat into,
CEO.
like, can eat into like whatever Uber or whatever else.
Yeah.
might be.
Fat in
And,
his
I mean,
wallet.
if we know anything about the way things go in tech companies, Uber would rather, if Waymo starts to gather speed, Uber will just partner with Waymo and then maybe use less drivers. But
I mean, from what I understand, Uber would rather eat its own shoe than pay its drivers well.
oh yeah, yeah. Did you ever see that video clip of that guy going viral? The CEO of Uber, I forget his name, but he
No.
was confronted by like an Uber driver who said like,
Oh, no way.
you are like completely killing drivers with your business model. And he had a very like capitalist answer, being like, it's not my fault if you can't make wage, blah blah blah, figure it out, be hungry,
Yeah.
usual kind of like
Start your own Uber
yeah,
business.
yeah, exactly, usual kind of like
Do it on your own.
words that a
Good
pompous
luck.
CEO might say. Of course, he like it. That clip went viral, and he had to like apologize for what he said, because people were not happy.
His shareholders
about
were
that.
like,
Yeah,
you're going to
Share-
apologize.
his shareholders were like, "Listen, buddy, can you like tone it down, please? Can you tone down the
Tone down the
elitist
dick.
kind of like lingo a little bit, please? Because
Yeah.
we still need everyday people to use our services."
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
a capitalist system is about it's about how hardworking you are, how capable you are, how talented you are, how beautiful you are physically, and how lucky you are.
oh yeah, for sure.
Kindness, it's not part of the equation. I mean,
No,
you have to fool at least a couple of people into maybe thinking you're kind. I mean, like, for example, when I went through sales training at Yelp, when I worked there, I mean, they would teach us things like, now we're going to give you a presentation about fear. Fear is a powerful emotion, and we can harness it. We can use it, can't we? Yeah, we can, can't we? Yes. We can
my God.
use it to help us get more sales. When we can show and instruct the person we're selling to in a way that amplifies the fear that they're feeling emotionally, this can help us to get over that finish line, right? To the sale. Yes. Yes. It was like that every day. We had lectures like that. It was I mean, it's, psychotic, but it's also like I guess it works, to get what they want, which is sales.
Yeah,
That's corporate sales for you. You have to, I mean, it's good to be likable, but that's only a tool to be weaponized to help you to make more sales. It's not, you don't actually have to be a good person. It's better if you're not a good person, because then you'll cross more ethical barriers that you mostly probably will get away with, and you might make more money from it. So yeah, it's all about deception. I used to take issue with that saying, "Nice guys finish last."
yeah,
And I mean, I still don't I don't love it. 'Cause, I think on the scale of nice to pure evil, I like to think I lean a little closer to the side that's nice. There's things that I have some integrity. Like, there are things I won't do. I don't care what the prize is for doing it. And I don't think everybody's like that. I don't think I'm like patting myself on the back. I just think that's a part of me that I feel I'm aware of. There are things I will not do. And this, obviously the same, I'm sure it can be said of you and a lot of other people in our lives.
right.
But that being said, it's like, there is no prize for being a good person or being nice. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Right.
Yes. It's just a tool, again, to be weaponized to help you appear in a certain way. And I mean, you have to compartmentalize, because it's very hard to fake being likable and nice. So you kind of have to be likable and nice, but you have to then harness it and restrict it appropriately. That's kind of what capitalism requires of us, to succeed. In most industries, not in all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's like, nice guys finish last. Yeah, in a capitalist, in America today, I mean, not always, but is being nice going to make you win? No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a little bit of truth to it.
Yeah.
Like it or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. I mean, I don't think especially if you want to go into business, I don't think it'll do you any favors. If you are,
no.
But at the same time, like, don't change your nature. But if if that's your nature, you're not built for anything else, then you'll definitely be appreciated in the mental health or counseling section, because that is valuable over there.
Absolutely. And definitely there are industries and fields where a nice or good person who is not willing to compromise their integrity can still live a decent life, even in a capitalist system. And I think you have to be strategic about that. You have to know yourself. And it was so funny, because my mom, my entire life, I sometimes wonder if she knows me, because like she'll just, the careers she would suggest for me, it was always, and I mean, probably a lot of parents do this, because their only priority a lot of times is that their child is safe and has a roof over their head and has food and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's like there is more to life than just paying your rent and eating food. Just breathing and eating and shitting. There's also what your interests are, what kind of personality you have, the kind of people you want to surround yourself with, what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, what drives you. But with parents, or at least with my parents, there's so much of this myopic, like, do something that you are good at, and that's all, like, that matters, like, because you just need to make money and feed yourself and pay your rent. And it's like, should I like what I'm doing? And they're like, that doesn't matter. Like, that's not part of the thing. Like, you don't need to like your job. You just need to make money. And I don't know how many people from their boomer generation are that way. I think probably a lot of them, actually.
Yeah.
But, like, were your parents like that at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Please tell me about that.
All Indian parents are like that. Like, they don't, they want you for the same reason that you said. Like, they'll just, like, they push you into, like, safe jobs, like, the engineering, being a lawyer, going into, like, medicine, because these are professions that are pretty. Now AI has changed engineering, at least tech, some way, but doctor is pretty much going to be needed. Pretty much, 90% of the chance that's a very safe occupation. So like that's
there's a lot of Indian doctors. Is that a fair statement?
That's why. That's the reason why. Because their parents are like I don't want you to do anything like this. I want you to be safe.
It's stable. It's predictable. It's safe. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, like
Sorry,
I said,
what were you gonna say?
At the same time, they will also like on the other hand look at be watching like a talent show where they'll see like somebody singing really well and they'll be like, look at that kid, like, isn't that amazing what he's doing? Why can't you do stuff like that? And you're like, are you kidding me? It's like, it's like you're simultaneously pushing me to like being, going into like a safe profession, and then you're like questioning.
This isn't.
Hello. Can you hear me, Matt?
Hey, no, I was trying to say, you probably couldn't hear me, but I was trying to say you're cutting out a lot for a minute there. I really wanted to hear what you were saying because it's really interesting to me. By the way, to any of our fans, we do all of these remotely. I don't know if that's clear. I don't think everyone knows that. Maybe they do, but like we do all of these remotely. Like Karan is in Canada right now, and I'm in Los Angeles. In my little studio, and he's up there in Canada at his house. So
yeah, I think something went wrong with my internet. So I must have. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah,
that's okay. I took that opportunity to explain to them, like, guys, I don't know if you know this, but we do all these remotely.
Oh yes, yeah.
I bet some people don't know that. They think we're in the room together. No, we're not in the same room.
We're not in the same room or in the same city or the same country for that matter.
Yeah.
We are on the same planet.
We are on the same planet, and we're in the same time zone, too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The time zone thing helps a lot.
It does. But occasionally we may have glitches where, one of us cuts out a little bit, and that's because these are done remotely. It's going to happen. I've heard that happen in some of the biggest podcasts I've heard. So
it happens to everybody. It's like, it's not... At this point, it's almost accepted as like a, like an industry, occasional hiccup that people will experience, like nothing.
Totally. But getting back to what you were saying, because I'm kind of disappointed I missed what you were saying. Could you pick up, because now that I can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Could you pick up at the part where you were saying, you were saying like Indian parents will sort of, you need to be a doctor. That's the only thing you can do. But then at the same time, they'll be watching a talent show. And then that's where I lost you.
Oh, yeah. They'll be like watching a talent show, and they'll see like a young kid like come out and just like sing really well or dance really well or play the guitar or something, do something artistic really well. And they'll be like, oh, look at that. Why can't you be like that? And you'll be like, are you kidding me? Like, you literally discourage every time I try to like do something creatively. Your first instinct is, why aren't you studying? Why aren't you doing like, something productive instead of wasting your time with this stuff? Yeah,
so funny.
It's
Very
like, I mean,
self-contradicting.
it is very contradicting, and I mean the truth of it is like they don't truly understand the the amount of hard work it might take to make it somewhere
Yeah.
creatively.
Yeah, parents contradict themselves. It's really funny. Like just the other day, my mom was saying, I don't know if you should be doing that podcasting thing. It may be a distraction from your music. And mind you, this comes in the face of, at no point was any of my family ever genuinely interested in or believing in me pursuing this crazy career of music. And so all of a sudden she really wants me to finish my song and put it out and is invested in that. Yeah, I think she liked the song or saw some sort of potential in it, which is remarkable that she does. So I'm grateful for that. That's the first time in my life that has happened. Anyway, so it's like my whole life she wants me to be a lawyer, wants me to be just anything safe, anything other than an artist, right? And then she's like, I don't know about this podcast thing because it might be distracting you from music. And then like a week later, as in yesterday, I get a message from her that says, maybe you should try making episodes with a GoPro where you interview different people on the street. I've seen a man on YouTube who makes a lot of money and does very well with a GoPro. And it's like, Mom, my head is about to explode. You literally just told me to quit podcasting because it's a distraction from music. But before that, I was supposed to not do something messed up like music. It's just, I can't keep up. Can't keep up.
Yeah.
There's no pleasing family.
No,
I can tell you that.
You know better to try. So focus your efforts on something that you can control.
I think I finally do. I have entered a more peaceful era of my life where I've let go. I'm starting to let go of, haven't completely let go, but I'm starting to really let go of this, my expectation for my family to sort of endorse everything I'm doing and think it's cool and special and I'm doing the right thing. And it's like, it's fueled by my own, it's just the desire for your family to get behind you on something and sort of get what you're doing. Yeah. But it's like, one, they have no reference for it. They're all doctors themselves. They have no doctors and nurses. They all work in the medical field. They all have safe traditional jobs. They have no point of reference for what I'm doing at all. Not one of them ever went out to Hollywood or tried to be an actor or a director or a musician. They have no point of reference for it, probably like a lot of Indian parents.
Oh, yeah. They have no reference for that stuff. They're pretty much, their understanding is like, whatever I'm doing, like, look, I made it in this, so it should be about the same steps that you might need to make it in every other field. But it's like, no, it's not the same. It's far from being the same. Yeah.
Did you have any updates? Because we haven't talked in a week or two, but did you have any updates you wanted to share from your life or from the past week or two?
No, not much, but I actually will have to end it because it's 1. I have to jump. Yeah, I have to jump to a meeting at 1 right now.
Oh, no worries.
So, yeah, but I mean, this is like a short one, but
yeah. That's okay. It was lively, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's always lively.
That's true.
But, okay, let me just go ahead and quickly play us off. Neato. Yeah. Well,
nice.
Yeah, this short episode this time, guys, but we always appreciate you all stopping by.
Yeah,
and,
thanks guys for listening.
We've got our Instagram and stuff up and running, so if you ever want to reach out, talk to us about stuff, something we want us to talk about, we are always open to listening to what you guys have to say.
Totally, we would love any comments or interaction that you might feel inspired to share.
Yeah, and thanks for all the follows so far. It's great.
Yeah,
we are getting up there.
Yeah, we've gotten a few more. We've gotten a few more follows the last week or two, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right then, Matt. Well, we'll have to end it here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. See you guys later.
Okay, see you guys later.